Hi, it's a Lipstick Gal. Thank you so much for watching today. I wanted to do a look with cool toned eyeshadows. This is something that I rarely do. I had somebody ask me about this. Erin asked me about this in a previous comment section saying, I want to know what your recommendations are for cool toned shadows. And I think there's a lot of great cool toned shadows, but I tend not to wear a lot of blues and a lot of what I would say would be more cooler toned greens. If you're thinking, what's a warm toned green? Green, I thought green was a cool color. It is kind of, but I'm thinking specifically about the greens that I'm more drawn to tend to look, you know, more like this kind of, you know, combination that goes well with mustards and, you know, rich deep browns. Those are the greens that I tend to favor, and I don't really do a lot of really cool shadows. Now, I do like a purple, but most of the purples I like tend to have more of that red base to them. So I thought I would try a full-on legitimate cool look today. And Erin, thank you for recommending this. But I'm going to use my favorite formula ever. And they are these guys here. These are my Sydney Grace shadows. I do have a couple of other Sydney Grace palettes. I have this one here. I'll probably use some of this. This is the Enduring Love palette. This was new in 2020. It's amazing. I think I might even grab my Autumn Rain palette, but that one it's got a mixture of warm and cool tones. Hang on. So this is the Autumn's Rain palette, and there are some really beautiful, like cooler purpley tones in here. This is a gorgeous shade, and I feel like these guys here are really great cool tones, but you do have some warmer things that, like, you know, move along the top here. But I'm gonna try and just pick out whatever I think would look together. I'm gonna leave all three of these palettes open, both of these guys and my magnetic palette here. And I thought, because I kind of don't know what I'm doing, I'm gonna do my eyes first, which I almost never do, but that's not a bad habit to be in. I'm gonna start by priming my eyes with the Milani eyeshadow primer. This has been one of those products that I didn't realize how good it was until I finally broke down and got it. It's been a recommendation from Emily Noel for years. It's like the only eyeshadow primer she repurchases over and over and over again. And I see why. Now, it doesn't give me any coverage. If you're looking for something to blank out your eye, if you have veins or some discoloration, I think you might like something that has some coverage in it. But this, just to get stuff to stay where you put it and to last all day, works amazing. So on the day I'm filming, it's actually my anniversary today. It's my 18th anniversary. It's so weird when I think about how long I've been married. Oh, my husband's awesome. He's the best. But I thought I'd, you know, put on like a real dress today, and we're making dinner at home today. So this will be the first time in my memory that my kids have had like anniversary dinner with us. Normally we hire a babysitter and we go out, but that's okay. That's not a problem. I'm going to start out with a really light, this is one of my favorite shades in the Enduring Love palette. This one's called Cherish, and it's a neutral, soft brown, and I'm just going to put this in my crease. I just want to build a little something here to work on, just to kind of block out where, okay, we're going to put darker colors below or lighter colors above. This kind of gives me an idea of where I'm starting. You know what, this actually even pulls just a little bit cool. I feel like the Enduring Love palette from Sydney Grace definitely is a cool leaning palette, and I've never really fallen in love with cool tone palettes, but this is one of my all-time favorite. And I don't know whether it's performance, I don't know whether it's color story, I just love this palette. I think by the time this video is going up, I've been pre-filming for a while. My surgery is coming up. It's coming up in 10 days. So I'm just a little anxious, if I'm just going to be honest about it. But by the time this goes up, I already will have had my surgery. So here's hoping everything goes well, and that I'm not laid up in the hospital for longer than I expect to be. In the Autumn's Rain palette, there is this beautiful plummy shade called Brilliant Realm, and I'm going to use this on a more targeted brush just to intensify that outer corner a little bit. The weather got really warm, and then all of a sudden it cooled off. This whole last week of June, we've been in like the 70s and 80s, and it's beautiful today. So we're doing everything we can to take advantage of the gorgeous weather we're having, because every time July rolls around, it just gets really hot really fast. I think one of the reasons that I like the Sydney Grace formula so well is that it's ridiculously pigmented. The foiled shades are astounding, but I feel like they blend well and they last well. And we're talking, you know, price per pan. If you're getting the individual pans, they're not that bad. And this palette is the same price as any other, you know, mid-range palette you would get. We're not talking luxury. I'm not talking like a Hourglass or a, you know, but it's around $50 and you're getting 15 pans. I really feel like that's a great price. And I feel the one thing I will tell you, July 12 starts the Sydney Grace Christmas in July sale. Now, I hope that I'm feeling well enough to remember to make a purchase, because last year was the first year I ever made a purchase from Sydney Grace, and I did it during their Christmas in July sale. Because what they did is, you see these, there's a 9 pans right here, and then the greenish ones. Those are bundles that they gave out free if you spent $50. So you got a free 9 pan palette for $50. For the free with a $50 purchase. And I'm hoping they're going to do similar things again this year, because I just love these shadows. They are so beautiful. And what's great is that they do have, I feel like sometimes if I go to ColourPop, there's just so many shades in every finish that I have a hard time distinguishing them. The other problem I have if I'm looking through like ColourPop or MAC or other places that sell singles, I couldn't always tell the difference between one neutral brown and another, or one creamy vanilla-y shade and another. And I feel like there's a wide selection from Sydney Grace, but not so much that I get overwhelmed and I end up with, you know, like 3 shadows that are all different but are so close, like you really shouldn't need all 3. That's what happens when I buy ColourPop shades, because I'm like, oh, this is pretty, oh, this is pretty, and the next thing I know, I've got like 5 corally shades that are all just like a fraction off from each other, and how am I going to go through 5 pans of the same color? That's my one complaint with ColourPop, is that they're constantly, I sometimes wonder if it's the same color but they rename it for a, you know, their new summer collection or their new whatever. Or they tweak it just enough so it's not exactly the same. There's a lot of dupes within the ColourPop line. I'm going to use this kind of, I don't know, it looks like a smoky lavender shade called Countess. And I'm just going to kind of blend the edge here. I feel like I'm getting the shadow a little higher than I want. I'm just going to use a skin toned, this is just a regular powder. And I'm going to use this to kind of blend it out here close to my eyeshadow. This, by the way, is the Jouer Soft Focus Hydrate and Set Powder. And I just use whatever powder is at hand to just kind of, that's in my own skin tone, to kind of highlight and make sure that I buff out these edges. I'm headed back into the Enduring Love palette. I'm going to use this shade here, Abigail. This is one that I haven't used much at all. And it's a little bit, it's a beautiful foiled shade, and I'm just going to keep it on the outside half of my lid, kind of below the crease, just right here. I'm going to go into this single here. This is Cadet. This is one of my favorite singles, and it's a cool toned, very beautiful taupey shade. I'm going to plop that right in the center of my lid. I might just use my finger. This always just goes on best with the finger. And I'm going to use the single here. This is called Aim High. It's from the Raspberry Kiss bundle, and I'm going to put that just right on the inside of my inner corner. I'm going to put on the rest of my face, and we'll come back and finish this eye look. So I'm going back into this shade Countess here, this lighter kind of lavendery purple, just for right here under the eyes. Going back into that single Cadet, and I'm just going to use this right in the center of my lower lash line, just to mirror what's happening on top. I'm going to use some of the ColourPop Cream Gel Liner in the shade Charmer in my upper waterline, and then I'll curl my lashes and put on some mascara. I almost never do a plummy look, and then when I do it, I'm like, why don't I do this more? It's so pretty. I really, really like it. So I use nothing but Sydney Grace shadows today, some singles and some from the 2 palettes that I have. But here's what I'll tell you. If you love a really beautiful foiled formula, Sydney Grace, I feel like, has the best. I feel like the longevity is there. I feel like they have a nice variety without an overwhelming amount of shades. So as I'm looking through the Sydney Grace Instagram account, here's the information I have on the Christmas and July sale. Their Christmas and July event starts on July 12. They'll have giveaways, deals, new items, free domestic and international shipping on qualifying orders. And so far, today's the 30th of June, all that I see them talking about in their upcoming sale are their new glitters. They do have some glitters that are biodegradable, and they do have other just regular loose glitters. Let me tell you, I love their eyeshadows. I have tried their Cloud 9 setting powder, wasn't a fan, I decluttered it. I have tried one of their pressed highlighters, which was pretty nice. I feel like where they really hit it out of the ballpark, and those are the only 3 different types of products that I've tried, but my favorite out of those 3 definitely is the eyeshadow formula, and it's my favorite eyeshadow formula. Mattes, metallics, shimmers, satins, like the whole thing. If you want a foiled shade, whatever formula they have in their pressed eyeshadows, beautiful. I'm hoping they come out with new bundles with new shades. The other thing that they also have recently started stocking, and this is kind of cool, are just magnetic palettes. They have ones that'll fit like a 9-pan, which I'm hoping, since they have 2 9-pan bundles right now, I'm hoping that that means that they're going to be coming out with more 9-pan bundles, because 9 is about the max shades before I start feeling a little bit overwhelmed. This turned into kind of like a Love Sydney Grace So Much video, and it didn't intend it to be that way. It was really just a, let me pick out some cool tones that I think are going to go well with what I'm wearing today, and the sort of look that I'm comfortable wearing. And maybe I just need to keep dipping my toe into the blue eyeshadow pool, or into the, cool green pool. I don't know. We'll try something again soon. Thank you so much for watching, Erin. Thank you for asking about cool tone shadows. And don't forget the Sydney Grace Christmas and July sale. I have not been doing a lot of purchasing, but I definitely am going to be hitting the Sydney Grace sale as long as I'm feeling well enough to do so. But it starts on the 12th. Last year, I think it went for 2 or 3 weeks. And what they do is they hold on to your purchases. So if you keep purchasing, and then they'll ship it all at once, so you get it all at the same time. Thank you so much for watching today. Let me know if you have any suggestions or questions regarding products or things you think I would enjoy trying that you really love, because obviously Sydney Grace is a fave of mine. But if you have a fave that you feel this passionate about, I would love to know what it is. Let me know in the comments down below. And if you want to see a specific type of look, like Erin was asking about cool toned eyeshadows, also let me know down below. Thank you for watching. Thank you so much for being subscribed. I really appreciate it, and have an amazing day. I'll see you again soon. Bye.